On the day I was confirmed pregnant, I saw Andrew, who had just messaged me saying he loved me moments before, carefully supporting a woman with a large belly. The woman was wearing a luxurious brand bracelet from the current season, clinging to his arm and acting coquettishly. "Husband, the baby just kicked me." My husband bent down, gently stroking the woman's belly, and said in a doting tone, "Baby, you have to be good in mommy's tummy." Having witnessed everything, I deleted the text I had just typed, opened my phone camera, and captured that scene. Then, I turned around and scheduled an abortion surgery with the doctor. "Mrs. Andrew, are you sure you don't want this child?" The doctor adjusted his glasses and asked again. "I'm sure, and I have a name, I'm Sophia." "Please call me Miss Sophia." "All right, Miss Sophia, the abortion surgery is scheduled for the afternoon of the 30th. The doctor wrote the slip and handed it to me. I took the slip and left the hospital. Back home, the housekeeper was already preparing ingredients for dinner. Today was originally our wedding anniversary with Andrew, and the child in my belly was meant to be a surprise for him. "Madam, you're back. Today's dishes have all been prepared as per your instructions." I looked at the ingredients the housekeeper had prepared. They were all light and palatable dishes. Andrew doesn't like spicy food, and these were all his favorites. But I am someone who can't enjoy food without spice. To accommodate Andrew, I hadn't eaten spicy food for a long time. "Yes, that's good. Add some chili." "Didn't you say the sir can't eat spicy food?" "Yes, I've told the housekeeper long ago that Andrew can't eat spicy, so no spice in the dishes. Today, make more spicy dishes, I like them." "All right, madam." The housekeeper wouldn't ask too many questions. As long as the boss likes it, she would definitely satisfy. Sitting on the living room sofa, I sent the photo to my best friend and asked Fiona to help contact a private investigator to look into Andrew and the woman in the photo. After Fiona greeted Andrew with a series of profanities, she assured me to leave it to her. The woman I saw today probably had a belly of 4 or 5 months. This made me recall that Andrew had started frequent business trips half a year ago. That means he and that woman had been together for at least half a year. I felt as if my whole being had plunged into an ice cave. Andrew and I had been together from school uniforms to wedding dress, married for 3 years, and our relationship had always been good. In the recent half year, Andrew had even been better to me. It turns out it was just because he had someone outside and felt guilty toward me. Only I still believed it was because he loved me. Andrew returned on time, bringing gifts and flowers for me. The flowers were my favorite pink roses. I had told him about this. So, when he confessed, he ordered 999 pink roses for me. And on all subsequent anniversaries, he never forgot to send me a bouquet of pink roses. "Sophia, my dear wife, did you miss me?" Andrew stepped forward to hug me, placing the flowers and gifts in front of me. Everything was the same as before. The first thing he did after work was to hug me. He had said that work was tiring, but seeing me waiting at home after work, being able to hug me, recharged him to continue working hard for his beloved wife. I thought, even if just for this child, I should give him a chance. The housekeeper came over to say dinner was ready. Andrew led me to the table and thoughtfully pulled out the chair. He didn't notice that half of the dishes on the table today were spicy. He just picked the non-spicy ones and put them in my bowl. "Andrew, I had just started to speak when the phone by Andrew's side rang. Andrew glanced at the phone, hung up calmly, and said to me, "Sophia, you eat first, I'm going to the bathroom." I noticed that when he left, he didn't take his phone. After he entered the bathroom, I also got up and walked to the bathroom door. Voices came from inside, confirming that he always had 2 phones. One without a password that I could open anytime, and the other he carried with him. At first, Andrew's voice was very low. Later, not knowing what the person on the other end said, Andrew replied, "I'll be right there." My heart sank bit by bit. The flushing sound came from the toilet. When Andrew came out, I had already returned to the table. He only had time to say to me, "Wife, there's an emergency at the company, I have to go. You eat first, don't wait for me. I left your gift here, I'll be back as soon as possible." After saying that, he grabbed his phone and coat and left in a hurry. I put down my chopsticks. Fiona messaged saying the private investigator had already followed Andrew and pushed the investigator's contact to me. After adding as a friend, I picked up the gift Andrew had left by my side and opened it. It was the exact same bracelet as the one the woman was wearing. This made me subconsciously feel nauseous and disgusted. Wretch. All these things he gave me, I threw them all into the trash bin, whether flowers or bracelet, they all made me feel sick. The phone beeped again. I opened it. It was from the private investigator showing Andrew parking his car in a private spot in a high-end residential area. This kind of single-family residence has good privacy, very suitable for keeping a mistress. From the photos, one could see the man anxiously opening the door, and as soon as it opened, a woman hugged him. At first, they talked, then impatiently embraced and started kissing. Even from the photos, one could see how passionately they kissed. My stomach churned, and I reflexively dry-heaved, yet masochistically flipped through the photos to the end. I dumped the food on the table into the trash bin where I had thrown the gifts and flowers. Seeing the flowers and bracelets soaked in soup felt like seeing my filthy marriage and ridiculous love. Today is the 27th, there's 2.5 days left. I need to use these 2.5 days to completely erase all traces of my life in this house. But today I'm too tired, I really want to have a good sleep. I didn't want to sleep in the master bedroom at all, so I simply went to the guest room. But I couldn't sleep at all, my mind kept masochistically thinking about my past with Andrew, tossing and turning all night. The villa was empty, Andrew didn't come back all night. Another message came on the phone, one from Andrew saying there was a problem with the project, he needed to go on a business trip temporarily, probably for 4 days, and he would come back soon to pack. When Andrew returned, his expression was normal. Seeing me, he wanted to hug me, but I dodged, he didn't mind and just said, "Wait for me," obediently. He didn't notice my cold expression or even the trash bin not far away, where the flowers he bought yesterday were inside. 20 minutes later, Andrew came down with his suitcase, said goodbye to me, and left in a hurry. But I received photos of him and that woman appearing together at the airport. Suddenly, the phone received a friend request. The profile picture showed someone extending their left hand to pet a cute kitten. The hand in the picture had a ring on the ring finger that I was extremely familiar with. I accepted the request. The other side didn't speak, just sent a photo of a pair of hands massaging her calf. Similarly, the left hand wore the exact same ring. The other side eagerly showed off, "I know yesterday was your 3rd wedding anniversary." I said my leg was cramping and I accidentally fell, and he came over immediately. I didn't reply, switched out of the chat interface, and opened the chat with the private investigator, investigate all specific information about the woman in the photo, and how she met the man in the photo. Then I transferred him $10,000 as a fee. The other side received the money and replied, "Got it, sis, I'll make sure to investigate thoroughly for you." Then, I also messaged the housekeeper, just saying to let her rest for 3 days and come back on the afternoon of the 4th day. Then, I started organizing my things in this house. Clothes that could be taken, I took, those that couldn't, I donated all. And those jewelry and bags, except the ones I bought myself, all that Andrew bought for me, I contacted people to sell them. I didn't let anyone help, I packed everything bit by bit myself. When tired, I would sit down to rest, after resting, I continued packing. I wanted to watch with my own eyes as the things related to me in this house disappeared bit by bit. The phone vibrated every now and then, they were photos from the person with the kitten profile picture, along with provocative words, "We've arrived in Sonia." The accompanying image was the man's back pushing the luggage cart. His figure is really good, the feel of his abs is also great. The image was the man kneeling on one knee helping her put on strappy sandals. I didn't reply to any, just screenshot and saved the photos. On the first day, the clothes were finally mostly dealt with. As for the bags and jewelry, the appraiser would come tomorrow to collect. When the second day arrived, the appraiser came on time, and I took out the jewelry and designer bags to sell. While the appraiser was inspecting the goods, my mother-in-law opened the villa door carrying a thermos. Seeing these people, she looked puzzled and asked, "Sophia, who are they?" "Mom, I plan to sell some unused things, they are appraisers." "By the way, why are you here?" "The matter between Andrew and me, I temporarily didn't want Margaret to know. After I married into the Lynn family, my in-laws treated me almost like their own daughter, even regarding my not getting pregnant, they didn't ask much, just kept telling me to relax. I was very grateful to them, so for the matter with Andrew, I planned to explain properly after everything was resolved." "Oh, like that. If unused, selling is fine, let Andrew buy you new ones. Us women, how could we ever have too many bags?" Margaret patted my hand. Hearing me ask her, she picked up the thermos in her hand. "Right, I came to bring you chicken soup, I specially had the kitchen stew it." "Mom, next time don't trouble yourself, just tell me, and I'll come over." "What trouble?" "Bringing soup to my own daughter-in-law, and you call it trouble?" Margaret said reproachfully. "Auntie, you treat your daughter-in-law just like your own daughter." The appraiser inspecting the designer bags joked from behind. "Our Sophia is also very good to me." Margaret, being praised, smiled happily. "Sophia, since you're busy, I won't disturb you, remember to drink the soup." "Yes, Mom, on the way back, tell the driver to drive slowly." I escorted Margaret to the door and instructed again. "Don't see me off, go busy yourself." After seeing Margaret into the car, I returned to the villa. There were quite a few items, the appraiser spent the entire afternoon to finish. Altogether, they sold for nearly 10 million. After seeing them off, I started packing my things. I had already sorted some in the morning, and with tomorrow morning, I should be able to finish packing everything. Opening the phone, there were many messages. I first replied to Fiona and asked her to accompany me to the hospital tomorrow afternoon. Then I opened the private investigator's message. He first sent me a file about that woman. That woman is named Lucy, graduated from a decent undergraduate school, her previous workplace was Andrew's company, and she resigned 4 months ago. It seems she first hooked up at the company, then got pregnant, so she resigned. Finally, I opened Lucy's messages and saved everything she sent me. As for Andrew's check-in messages, I was too lazy to even open them. On the third day, I got up early, packed the things not yet packed from yesterday, and then started throwing things away. Home decorations, small ornaments, as long as I bought them or bought them with Andrew, they were all thrown into garbage bags. After throwing a large bag of garbage, looking at this half-empty home, my heart also felt half-empty. But, Andrew, I gave you a chance. I contacted the moving company and finally took everything away before noon. Even that large bag of garbage, I had the movers help throw it away. Those memories were all thrown away by me. At 2 in the afternoon, Fiona accompanied me to the hospital. Before entering the operating room, I replied to Lucy's message for the first time. "The trash I don't want, you picked it up. Congratulations, garbage recycling station." After replying, I entered the operating room without looking back. I lay on the operating table, the overhead surgical lights were blindingly white, and I gradually lost consciousness. When I woke up, Fiona was holding my hand, sitting beside with red eyes. Seeing me awake, she wiped her tears. "Sophia, you're awake. How are you now? Do you want some water? What do you want to eat? Why are you crying? You should be happy, I'm about to embrace a new life." I curved my lips, trying to comfort her. "Alright, still have the energy to joke, seems it's not a big deal. What do you plan to do next?" Fiona, seeing I was fine, sighed in relief. "I want a divorce," I said firmly. "Good, I support you, but your primary task now is to recuperate well. The doctor said at least 2 weeks of rest, and the first 3 days must be bed rest." After discharge, Fiona accompanied me back to the apartment I bought before marriage. This apartment was bought for myself, even Andrew didn't know. Next, just wait for Andrew to come back tomorrow and see his reaction to what I deliberately left behind. But with my parents, I still need to explain properly. I took out my phone and dialed Mom's number. From the other end came my mother's gentle voice. The tears I had been holding back these days burst forth before I could speak, sobbing uncontrollably. On the other end were my parents' anxious voices. I tried to calm my emotions and told them the whole story, including today's abortion surgery. Because I didn't tell them, they were somewhat unhappy. For other matters, they fully supported me and assured me they would have absolutely no pity for Andrew. Having resolved things with my parents, a big stone fell from my heart. Fiona took my phone and forced me to rest. This sleep, I slept deeply. When I woke up the next day, my complexion was much better. These days I hadn't replied to Andrew, he didn't ask why I didn't reply, and there were no calls. The latest message was him saying the plane would land around noon at 12. So, the time he gets home is around 1 in the afternoon. At that time, the housekeeper would also come to clean. After Andrew returned home, seeing the empty house, he was stunned, faintly feeling uneasy in his heart. The housekeeper heard the noise and came out from the kitchen. "Sir, in this trash bin, it seems there are things Madam accidentally threw away." Andrew looked down at the trash bin. The food inside had molded, and on a wilted bouquet, there was moldy soup. The bouquet's packaging looked familiar. There was also an opened gift box surrounded by rotten food, and an expensive bracelet. That bracelet, he had given to 2 women at the same time. Thinking of the empty home he saw upon entering, his heart started pounding wildly. He frantically searched upstairs. Opening the wardrobe door, it was half empty, only his clothes remained, and even the whole wall of bags was gone. Dejectedly going downstairs, he didn't even dare take out his phone to ask if I already knew something. At this moment, the phone suddenly vibrated. He took out the phone, he didn't even have the courage to open the pinned profile. He saw the message I sent, "Let's divorce." He immediately dialed my number. I didn't answer. The messages he sent me, I didn't look at, I just sent him all the pictures and chat records I saved from Lucy. Then I blocked all his contact methods. The divorce is certain, but in these 2 weeks, I don't want to be harassed by Andrew. Fiona would buy a bunch of things every day, the things moved by the moving company. She was also helping me sort bit by bit. I didn't want her to be so tired, but she told me, "Don't worry, tomorrow I'll bring a laborer." When she came today, there really was a handsome young man following her. Seeing me, he obediently called, "Hello, sister. Is this the male model Fiona ordered? For herself or for me?" I looked at her suspiciously. She caught my look and immediately understood my meaning. She hurriedly explained, "This is my cousin Jason, he was studying abroad before, recently graduated and returned home. Second uncle wanted him to intern at the company, but he refused, so he was thrown to me." Looking at Fiona's evasive eyes, I had a bold guess in my heart. "Don't tell me the private investigator you found is him." "Oh, Sophia, you're a detective." Fiona exaggeratedly praised me. All right, I was wrong. You notified me so suddenly, I couldn't find someone right away. I'm not blaming you, after all, your brother completed the task very well. And a handsome guy is pleasing to the eye." "That's right, my brother is at male model level in looks anyway." Fiona, while being playful, stuffed supplements into my hand, had me sit aside, and herself directed her cousin to start organizing things. For several days in a row, Fiona brought Jason to my place to sort things. Seeing a handsome guy every day, my mood was also good. Until my mom called me. She told me that Andrew, unable to contact me, went to my parents' place. As a result, they refused to see him, so Andrew knelt at my home's door. My dad only said, "If he wants to kneel, let him, for my matter, he won't forgive Andrew nor interfere with my decision." Andrew knelt for 3 days. Finally, not knowing how Margaret found out, she brought Lucy over. Lucy, with her big belly, knelt toward Andrew, begging him to go back. Andrew couldn't resist the woman's plea and left my home. My dad, seeing Andrew's mistress with such a big belly, and thinking of my unborn child, got so angry his blood pressure rose. My mom was also so angry she cursed him as a beast. Seeing my parents aged a lot after these days, although I had only recuperated for a week, I decided to end this farce early. I planned to first go back to my parents' home. Just arriving home, I was stopped by a figure that jumped out from somewhere. It was Andrew. Not seen for a few days, he looked much haggard. He finally found me, wanted to step forward to hold my hand, but I dodged. "Don't touch me. Dirty." Now, whenever I see him, I recall his doting look when accompanying the woman for prenatal checkup. It's nauseating. Why was I so stupid back then to want to give him a chance? Andrew showed a hurt expression and begged, "Sophia, no, I didn't. I just wanted to wait for Lucy to give birth, then pretend to adopt the child, and we raise him together. I didn't know Lucy would send you those things." Andrew's words, besides shocking me, made me feel disgusted. "Andrew, how can you be so disgusting and lowly?" "Yes, Sophia, I'm disgusting, I'm lowly, but I beg you, don't leave me, okay?" While saying that, he knelt toward me, as if he really couldn't live without me. But my heart didn't ripple at all. I took out my phone, flipped to the photo I took at the hospital that day, and showed it to him. In the photo, the man gently stroked the woman's belly with a tender expression, the woman's face brimmed with happiness. It was completely the joy of a couple toward the upcoming new life. Andrew stared blankly at the photo. That day, it was him accompanying Lucy for prenatal checkup. "Do you know why I was at the hospital?" I showed a mocking smile. Then, under Andrew's increasingly pale face, I continued, "Because I was pregnant, already over a month." Andrew showed a surprised expression. "Sophia, you're pregnant? Really? Then we..." Seeing the man's hopeful look, I mercilessly interrupted, "There's no we, because I already aborted the child." "Sophia, why do this?" Andrew murmured. "I gave you a chance, you didn't cherish it." Hearing my words, he suddenly thought of the day he left, when I was about to speak to him. But to call Lucy, he didn't listen to me. "No, I don't believe it. Sophia, you love me so much, how could you abort my child?" Andrew shook his head, unwilling to believe. I knew early he would think this way, took out the abortion slip, and threw it at him. The paper fell downward, Andrew caught it. After seeing the content clearly, he couldn't help trembling. When Thomas and Margaret arrived, seeing their son's state, Margaret without a word pushed me away and heartbrokenly hugged her son. I was pushed staggering, almost falling to the ground. Andrew, what's wrong?" "Mom, my child is gone." "What child?" "Lucy is fine at home." "It's Sophia, and my child is gone." Andrew painfully hugged his head and squatted down. "What?" Margaret took the slip from Andrew's hand and was also stunned. But she wasn't as pained as Andrew. After all, she still had a grandson waiting well in the belly. "Sophia, since the child is gone, then treat Lucy's child as your own. Mrs. Margaret, Sophia is our treasure. Since you have a new daughter-in-law, divorce early to avoid your son committing bigamy," my dad said coldly. My parents didn't come out when seeing me confront Andrew, they believed I could handle it. Until Thomas and Margaret appeared, they came out, and upon coming out, heard the other say such a shameless thing. "In-laws, it's not like that. Married 3 years, Sophia hasn't gotten pregnant, now Lucy has a child, we can't let the grandson wander outside." Thomas's words implied that since I couldn't get pregnant, Andrew had to find another woman to have a child. "Mr. Thomas, the child has decided to divorce, don't call us in-laws anymore. Sophia, let's go home, we are decent people, don't block others from taking a mistress as daughter-in-law." My mom was also furious, speaking without mercy. "Mom, I won't divorce." Andrew, hearing my mom's words, rebutted. "Andrew, I won't raise someone else's child for you, nor want a dirty man. I'll send you the divorce agreement, if you won't divorce, I'll sue you." After saying that, I went home with my parents. Andrew was also forcibly taken away by Thomas and Margaret. I also asked the lawyer to send the divorce agreement to Andrew's home. To ensure he receives it, I had the lawyer send copies to his company and his parents. Originally everything was smooth, but unexpectedly, trouble arose with Lucy. After receiving the divorce agreement, Andrew blamed everything on Lucy. He forcefully dragged Lucy to the hospital, but Lucy's child was almost 5 months, fetal development normal. The hospital said there was no medical indication, couldn't terminate the pregnancy. After hearing, Andrew went crazy, hit the doctor. In the shoving, he bumped into Lucy, Lucy's belly hit the table corner, and the child wasn't saved. The hospital called the police. Andrew is now detained at the police station. These things were all told to me by Fiona. Now this matter is buzzing, and someone recorded a video and posted it online. Andrew wasn't detained long before being released, because Lucy issued a letter of understanding. Lucy, as an immoral mistress, now got what she deserved. I only regret that Andrew didn't receive substantial punishment. This incident reminded me, focused on retaliating against the scumbag, I forgot the mistress. The money Andrew spent on the mistress during marriage, as the original wife, I have the right to recover. I had my lawyer sue Lucy in court. After Lucy received the court summons, she made a scene at my home. My parents didn't let me go out to see her, called security to drive her away. Lucy refused to leave, directly throwing a tantrum on the ground. Her mouth cursing, "Sophia, on what grounds do you sue me? You yourself can't give birth to a son, and still harm my son. You bitch. You shameless old woman. How can this woman say that?" My mom was already furious. After comforting her, I walked out of the villa. When Lucy saw me, her words suddenly stuck. She had just lost the child, didn't recuperate well, and was sitting on the ground shouting. At this time, her face was ashen, hair not groomed, like a madwoman. While I, these days rested well, my mom had the housekeeper stew supplements 3 times a day, so now my face is rosy, skin fair and glossy, in good condition. At this moment, I was looking down at her from above. No words needed, between her and me, the superiority was evident. When Margaret and Andrew arrived, they saw this scene. Margaret heartbrokenly wanted to help Lucy up. Lucy waved her hand away and shouted at me, "Sophia, you're very happy now, right? My child is gone, the man I love is going crazy for you." Lucy smiled self-mockingly. I didn't answer her. She continued, "That day, after he returned from your home, he crazily questioned me why I sent you those messages, and hit me. If not for Uncle and Aunt stopping him, he would have wanted to strangle me. He said it was all my fault, that I made you leave him. After receiving your divorce agreement, he forcibly dragged me to the hospital to make me abort. If not for the hospital disagreeing, he really would have sent me into the operating room. But my child still wasn't saved. Tell me, if I quietly gave birth to the child without provoking you, wouldn't I still have a chance to stay by his side? All of this is because of you." Hearing these words, I only felt it was ridiculous. First, before you loved this man, didn't you know he already had a wife? Shamelessly seducing someone's husband, that's your own cheapness. Second, those photos and chat records, weren't they you, relying on having a child, arrogantly provoking me? But even if you didn't come to me, on the day of your prenatal checkup, I saw you 2 cheap man and woman with my own eyes, I would still propose divorce. Of course, I have to thank you for personally delivering strong evidence. Finally, your child is gone because of Andrew, and you still issued a letter of understanding to the murderer who killed your child. Sophia, I'm sorry. Andrew guiltily lowered his head, apologizing to me again. I can agree to divorce you, but hope you can give me another chance to pursue you. Margaret, hearing her son so humbly, heartbroken to death, started viciously toward me. You yourself are like a hen that doesn't lay eggs, can't give birth, and still want to prevent us from having a grandson. Mom. Don't say any more. Andrew, with a terrified face, covered Margaret's mouth, not letting her continue. What do you mean? What's with Lucy? Hearing Margaret's words, I actually already had a faint guess in my heart. Mrs. Margaret means that this Miss Lucy was personally selected by the Margaret couple and sent to their son's bed. I looked shocked at the approaching person. Jason, holding a file, strode over and continued Margaret's words. I took the file, about to open it. Fiona pressed my hand. Sophia, do you really want to see? Fiona, there's nothing I can't accept anymore. I still opened the file. Inside recorded how Thomas and Margaret selected Lucy and how they sent Lucy to their already married son's bed. My guess was indeed correct. How could this family be so disgusting? Thomas and Margaret's kindness to me was all pretended. No, it's not like that, Sophia. I was drugged, really didn't know. I thought it was you. Andrew anxiously explained. The first time was drugged, then what about after? Were all subsequent times drugged to force you with Lucy? Drugged all the way until she got pregnant? Andrew, you just coveted her body, a temporary novelty. Don't make yourself sound so wronged. Your family is really experts at garbage sorting. Since this family did so ruthlessly, I have no need to hold back my words. On what grounds do you curse us? You couldn't give birth to a son in 3 years, we were still so good to you. How are you so heartless? You jinx can't give birth, so we find someone else to give us a grandson, isn't that natural? Now my grandson is gone, all because of you, you money loser. Margaret pointed at me, cursing more harshly each sentence. Mrs. Margaret, I know you're straightforward, but no need to shit with your mouth. After saying, I covered my nose, disdainfully saying, ew, so stinky. Don't bark, I've been afraid of dogs since childhood. Fiona pretended to be scared and nestled into me. I immediately cooperated and hugged her. You. Margaret was so angry she couldn't speak clearly. Sister, I think we also have a problem, we treated them too much as humans. Jason also joined us from the side. Margaret was directly angered to faint. Andrew quickly caught her and looked at me with complex eyes. Sophia, even if we were wrong, you shouldn't say it so excessively. Mom was usually good to you. You were bitten by a mad dog, and still want to be grateful to the dog. No wonder you can do such heinous things. Jason nodded understandingly. I was amused by his look, then coldly looked at Andrew. This guilt-style kindness, less moral kidnapping me, I don't buy it. Sign the divorce agreement quickly, so we can divorce. After saying, I linked arms with Fiona, took Jason home. The housekeeper came to open the door, then slammed it shut, and took out pomelo leaves, saying to dispel our bad luck. The incident at my home's door was still filmed by someone with intent, but the video didn't show us, only Margaret's explosive speech. This matter caused quite a stir online, leading to a big drop in Lynn's stocks. Andrew is probably busy and frantic, no time to entangle me. After Andrew signed the divorce agreement, I quickly went with him to get the divorce certificate. Looking at the green booklet, I showed a relieved smile. When leaving, Andrew called me, Sophia, Sophia, what are you still doing? Hurry up, let's go celebrate together. Jason drove the car to the Civil Affairs Bureau door. Fiona shouted to me from the car not far away. Coming. I smiled and ran toward them. Next, I'm to embrace my new life. Lucy's money, in the end, Andrew paid for her. I heard later she still persistently entangled Andrew. I never paid attention to the Lynn family's matters again, but I didn't expect to still receive Margaret's call. On the phone, she begged me to go to the hospital to see Andrew, heard he ate spicy food himself and got a stomach ulcer, entered the hospital. I agreed. Bringing my new ambiguous partner, went to the hospital. My ambiguous partner is Jason. Heard from Fiona that this kid, since seeing me, worked hard finding evidence, just to make me give up on the Lynn family sooner. Arrived at the hospital, followed Margaret's directions to find Andrew's ward. When we entered, Lucy was taking care of him. Seeing me appear, Andrew excitedly sat up from the bed. Sophia, you came to see me. Lucy quickly supported him, looking at me with hostile eyes. Andrew pushed her away, crying and repenting to me. Sorry, Sophia, how could I forget you like spicy food the most? The housekeeper said you specially instructed her not to make spicy dishes, but I never noticed. Sorry. I don't need your sorry, because you're already in the past tense. I linked arms with the man beside me. Today I'm to tell you, I already have a boyfriend, you also live well with your mistress. After saying, Jason and I left the ward, letting Andrew cry and call to stay behind. From beginning to end, I didn't look back. Sister, you just admitted I'm your boyfriend. Plot needs, as for you, still under observation. I never lacked the courage to love, but with Andrew's lesson, I think I'll become more cautious.